Alright, so right here we have our FLP Lusso light. It's going to contain your light, turn signals, and then your brake lights, running lights. It's going to come with this adapter for your dimmer, for your brake lights, and your running lights. These are the tools that you're going to need. Some snippers, wire crimpers, wire strippers, soldering iron, and then this is a kit for motorcycle bullet connectors from Amazon. It's nice to have, kind of keep things nice and clean and OEM looking. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the wires prepped so we can set up this resistor setup. We're going to snip these 4 wires right here. Make sure you don't snip them too close to the LED like I just did not too long ago. So maybe just give yourself some good length. Snip everything down and then strip them down about maybe 3/8 of an inch. Next up, we're just going to put them together, white and white, black and black. Right, now that you guys got your 2 wires twisted together here, we're going to get your sub harness. You're going to strip down the leads on the end with the 2 wires coming out. Throw some shrink tubing on there. And then you're going to wire these to your tail light and brake light. So your black is going to go to the red, and your white is going to go to your yellow. Twist them together and solder them on. Alright, next, now that you have those 2 soldered, just bring back your shrink tubing. Make sure you're covering all the exposed wire in there. Hit it with the lighter and just seal them up. So this is how your wiring harness should look like once you have everything soldered up and sealed up with some shrink tubing. You try to keep these, as close as length as possible. You might need to trim things either way, depending on your setup and how your ruckus is laid out. Next up, we're going to get some of these bullet connectors. Like I said, these are not included, but I do recommend picking these up on Amazon. I think it's like $10 for this whole box. And you're going to find yourself needing them all the time for your front turn signals, your rear tail light, any bike, any motorcycle. So it's just a nice thing to have. We're going to put those on real quick. And like I said, it's not necessary. You might have different connectors depending on if you're on a stock Get motor or if you're using a GY6 harness. But we're going to put these on and we're going to jump over the bike and bolt everything on. Alright, we just finished adding all these bullet connectors. Like I said, this is optional. We just kind of opted out to do that. But it's going to make for a real nice plug and play setup when you get to your ruckus. One thing to keep in mind with these turn signals, they're made in China. Sometimes they wire them backwards. So it's nice to get a 9-volt battery and just kind of find out which ones are positive. In this case, I think let's see. Didn't even say. The yellow is going to be your positive on this, and then the black is a ground. But like on these middle lights, the black is a positive, and the black is a positive, and the white is a ground. So it's just kind of weird. Just nice to have a 9-volt battery and check it, so when you get to your ruckus, you plug it in accordingly. But now we're going to go jump over the ruckus, show you what goes to what on the stock harness, and then we can bolt it up to the bike. Alright guys, we got this light bolted up. As you can see, we got it wired in, bolted up, ready to go. So if you're looking down here, this is going to be that sub harness we put on. We're going to have our yellow, our red, our green. So our yellow is going to be our ground, and that yellow is going to go to that single black and green wire. The red, that's going to be your running light, and that's going to go to the single black and brown wire. Last one's going to be your brake light, and that's a green wire, and that's going to go to the green and yellow single wire. Next up, you have your turn signals, and like I said earlier, you want to check your turn signals. Make sure you use a 9-volt battery so you know which ones are positive and which ones are negative. Sometimes they come in mixed up, but you'll get your 2 negatives and you'll run it out to the splitter right here, which is black and green, and you'll put your 2 negatives there, and then you'll have your right side to the baby blue and your left side to the orange. They might be crossed over. You'll have to see when you put on your turn signals. But as you can see, I mean, that's as simple as it gets when you're putting it together. And you guys can go your own way, make whatever plug or hardwire them in. So once you're on, you should turn your ignition on. You'll have your running light. As soon as you hit your brakes, you'll have your brake light. Turn signal, your other turn signal. Ours are mixed up. We'll fix it. Not the end of the world. Next up is this relay over here. You're gonna have to take out your stock relay. It's mounted in here. Just unplug it. You'll see that plug in there. I just have this rigged up so you guys can see how it gets wired in. But you unplug your relay. It has a B and an L. And then the B is gonna go to that black wire on your stock harness. And the L is gonna go to the gray wire. And what that's going to do is going to make sure that your turn signals don't just stay on when you hit them on, because they have LEDs on them now. And other than that, that's all it takes.